What is up, guys? I'm Lexi and welcome back to Creative Readers Etc., the channel where I do creative things that sometimes involve reading, etc. Today's video is one that I've kind of been floating around the idea of for a little while now. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, but I'm really bored and I've had these ideas in my head for so long that I want to share with you guys, and since A Court of Silver Flames was just released, I actually figured now would be a good time to do it. So, this week I will be bringing you dream casting the rumored ACOTAR TV series. So of course it is based on this series by Sarah J. Maas, ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses. There have been rumors floating around that there is going to be a TV series, but we do know that there is almost no way that the casting could live up to our actual expectations of the characters. Now, it is my hope that Sarah J. Maas, when helping with the casting, because I do hope she has a hand in the casting, will choose smaller actors that are lesser known because it gives us a better variety of characters, able to have more diversity, and it would just create a better experience for readers, I think. However, since they are smaller actors, we don't know who they are. And so this is my dream cast of ACOTAR characters if they were big-name celebrities. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Share some of your own opinions down in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe for more. And let's hop right in. So this is just a disclaimer. I do not watch that much TV or movies or consume that much media. So the actors and actresses in this list will be from a lot of the same shows, movies, universes, because my consumption of media is very limited and therefore my knowledge of actors and actresses is also very limited. I am not including the A Court of Silver Flames yet because obviously it's still fairly new, so many haven't read it. Don't want to risk giving any spoilers, so just another disclaimer, there may or may not be spoilers in this video. I don't think there will be, but just in case, be careful. The first character that I'm going to cast is Tarquin from the Summer Court, and I am casting him as John Boyega, who of course played Finn in Star Wars. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but my dad is, so I watched the new movies with him. And I just think that his personality, his appearance, just everything would really fit Tarquin. He's kind of more mild, but still have a commanding presence, and I just think he'd be good as Tarquin. The next character is Lucien, and I'm casting Lucien as KJ Apa, who played Archie in Riverdale, which we know how that went. However, he's got the red hair and his face is pretty similar to how I've pictured Lucien's. And he does have that serious personality that I think would work really well. I could just see him being a good Lucien. The next character is Helion, who is of course Lord of the Day Court. And this is an actor that a lot of you might not know, but I've got a couple of actors from this show in there. And his name is Ewan Mackin, and he played Gawain in Merlin, which is my favorite TV show of all time. I think he's got that fun, joking personality that Helion has, especially in Silver Flames, and I just think he would be really good. He does have the presence, but more of his personality just reminds me of Helion. I think they would be a good fit for each other. The next character is Ianthe, who is of course the priestess, and I cast her as Emma Stone for no particular reason, except I just think Emma Stone looks like what I picture Ianthe as. I feel like that works. I don't really have any other reasoning for that. That's what I did, so. The next character is of course the villain of the series, Amarantha, and I have cast her as Helena Bonham Carter. Just because she obviously did Bellatrix and she was good at the evil characteristic. I feel like that's sort of her thing, her niche. She's very pretty, which Amarantha has been described as pretty in an evil way, of course. And I just think that those two would mesh well. It seems like the kind of character that she plays often, and I just feel like it would be a good fit. So, the next character we have is Tamlin. We have feelings about Tamlin here that are not good. However, the actor that I have chosen to cast him as, Tom Hopper, played Luther in the Umbrella Academy as well as Percival in Merlin. I feel like would do a really good job, and I love Tom Hopper. Do not get me wrong. However, Luther's character in Umbrella Academy was sort of kind of Tamlin-esque, and Tom Hopper did a great job portraying that sort of manipulative. He's very large, masculine, muscular, which I think is a good thing for Tamlin to have. And I could see him just portraying sort of this beast character that Tamlin is. All right, now we're moving on to the main characters, starting with Ameren. Now, some of you might disagree with me on these. You might disagree with me on all of these, but especially these, because these are the main characters, which is okay. I would love to hear your opinions down in the comments. These are just the actors that I know of that I feel like would do a really good job portraying these characters. So for Ameren, I have chosen Scarlett Johansson because she did a really good job playing Black Widow, and I know she's played several other roles that are kind of similar to Ameren, although I can't think of them off the top of my head because, as I said, I am not a movie person. I don't consume a lot of media, but I do know that I feel like she would be a great fit for Ameren. She can be sort of serious and yet still like badass, if you get what I mean. She's really, really pretty. She's kind of smaller, which Ameren has been described as small, and I feel like that would just work. I think this two would mesh well, and I think that Scarlett Johansson would do a great job as Ameren. For Mor was probably the hardest character I had to cast. Maybe it's just because I haven't read ACOTAR, the whole series, in so long, because I did not reread it before reading A Court of Silver Flames. But I couldn't really remember too much about Mor other than like her backstory and that she's described as beautiful and that she's awesome. So she was really hard for me to cast, but I did end up picking Ivana Lynch, who played Luna Lovegood in Harry Potter, because she's got the blonde hair. I do remember that Mor was described as having blonde hair. And she's just really, really pretty, but I also feel like she could kill a man if she wanted, and Mor could definitely kill a man. So it's not my best decision, but I was very low on ideas for casting Mor, and I do think she could do a good job. So Mor was kind of hard, and I'm not really 100% set in this decision. And obviously these are just my opinions. They're never going to happen. But I do think that she could be a good option. My next character is Elaine, and I have cast Elaine as Karen Gillan, who of course played Nebula in the Guardians of the Galaxy and Marvel Universe, and Amy Pond from Doctor Who. She's got the soft appearance, and Nebula is like, could kill a man, will kill a man, has likely killed several men. And Amy is more reserved, but still will hold her own. So I drew more off of the Amy side of her, but obviously her as a whole, she's got the soft appearance that Elaine is described as having. It's still really pretty, and I just think she could do a good job as Elaine. My next casting is Nesta, and this is probably the one that I was most excited about. There's a couple more from Merlin that are still in here, but it's my favorite show, and I think some of the actors, like, to see them portraying one of my favorite book series would be really cool. Obviously, I know it's never going to happen, nor do I really want it to happen, but Katie McGrath, who played Morgana in Merlin, and she's played a couple of other roles. I know her mostly as Morgana from Merlin, and she started off as a good character. However, the way she portrayed Morgana made me think she could be a really, really good Nesta. Very no-nonsense, very, if you look at me, I will kill you. Still absolutely gorgeous. She kind of has sharper features, but I think that's perfect for Nesta, because Nesta is described as having very sharp yet still beautiful features. And I just really think that everything about Katie McGrath and Nesta fit together perfectly in a way that I am 100% certain that if she were given the role as Nesta, it would be magical. I do have Asriel cast as Bradley James, who again is from Merlin. He played Arthur, and This one, Azrael was another hard one to cast. Had to think about it a lot. However, I think Bradley James could do a good job playing a more reserved character, but he's still very, very muscular and well built, as of course the inner circle is described as being, especially the men. I think that because Azrael is a lot more reserved being a shadow singer than Cassian or Rice. Yes, I'm saying Rice. I refuse to say Reese or Rhysand. It is Rice. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I think that he could do a great job because his personality is very demure. He's able to have the interactions, the joking interactions. If you watched Merlin, you would really know what I'm talking about. So please go watch Merlin. It is my favorite show of all time. He is able to have those joking interactions, that brotherhood with Rice and Cassian, but he's still able to keep to himself and will also kill everyone in sight. I think that Bradley James would be a pretty good fit as Azrael. The next casting is probably going to be extremely controversial, and I need you to hear me out for this one, okay? Cassian, right? Cassian, Ryan Reynolds. I know, you're screaming at me right now. But listen, hear me out, okay? Ryan Reynolds has the exact same personality as Cassian, just maybe, well, this is Sarah J. Maas, so it's all adult, but maybe a little bit more R than PG-17. But obviously, the personalities mash. I do not think that he looks anything like anybody imagines Cassian to look like, which is why I know it's a stretch, minus the fact that he is probably well built. But the personality is such a match that I think it would be easily overlooked. And obviously you can do a lot with SFX and makeup and all of this other stuff to make it a little bit better of a fit for the physical appearance. The personality match was too good to pass up. So you can hate me for saying that, for thinking that, but Ryan Reynolds as Cassian is just all I want in my life right now. So thank you. The next character, of course, I'm down to my final two, which is Feyre and Rhysand. And I cast Feyre as Emma Watson because Feyre is kind of demure, very ladylike, like Emma Watson. And once she learned to read, I feel like she sort of fit that book nerd personality, even though she really didn't. But kind of in a way, she liked to paint as her escape, which is kind of similar to the bookish personality that Emma Watson has played a few times in the past, like with Herola's Belle and obviously Hermione. She's very pretty. She's got the sort of like hair color that Feyre is described as having. She's got the physical features. She's very lithe built. I think I pronounced that right. I'm not sure. But I just think she would be a good fit as Feyre. Feyre was also very hard for me to cast because she's the main character. So I felt like there was a lot to live up to in casting her. But if we were casting celebrities as these characters, I think Emma Watson would be a pretty good fit overall. And finally, the last character. This is another one that you might have to hear me out on, but I'm also just this is just like my self-indulgence here coming out. There's not really any reason for it other than I would love to see it. Rhysand as Tom Hiddleston with black hair, i.e. as Loki. Listen, I know the features aren't exactly a match. He is well built. The dark hair would fit, but he's just got the personality, like as Loki especially, it fits, okay? Just imagine Tom Hiddleston as Loki, right? Walking up and saying, "Favorite darling." Just imagine that. That is the sole reason why I did that. And I would like to see it happen. It never will. I know it won't. But that is my fantasy, is Tom Hiddleston as Rhysand saying "Favorite darling." And he's got the sneer and just High Lord of the Night Court. Thank you. That is all. I know, it's very self-indulgent. There's not really any other reason for it other than I think that specifically would be perfection. Pure, sheer, utter perfection. I don't think anybody could say Faye Darling better than Tom Hiddleston as Loki. And that is all. And with that, we do come to the end of my cast list. So as I said, let me know how you feel down in the comments. Share some of your own casting ideas for the show, or some other ideas for the show that aren't casting related at all. I would love to hear them. Please be sure to subscribe for more content. I do post videos every Monday. I've got my Instagram and my Twitter links down below. Like this video, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye!